wanted this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it. Boom. Baby, I'm not one of them, you should try on it. Miss me with all that, I'm on it and next. Fuck this up, I send you back to your ex. But good luck with that, this is big as it gets. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Yeah. Oh shit, they don't let me shoot a whole clip. Firepower in this coalition. We just turned the field into a demolition. It was desolate, but I had premonition. I was training for war every exhibition, every extra mission, every enemy listening. Get off my dick, I got bad intentions. Make it right every wrong, and I'm back with a vengeance. I show you the ropes. Peace in my town, I can show you the coast. Up in the shots if they wanted to smoke. If you know, then you know. Suited up, bitch, my whole team do the same. Don't you forget who created the game. Ready for war, I was born with grenades. The trenches where soldiers are made. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever. Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. A moment can live on forever.
sideways. Talking to their grip in their face, be still, let that hate stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to reach enlightenment. Trail spill from my lips, feel bent from the bit. Take a sip till I pass out. I'm trying to get grit, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beast with the slap, pin myself on the map. You long with the wind, but we knowing that it's capped. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while I'm at. I'm still on the grind, limit time when I chat. I'm burning down sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love, that's just how I'm made.
Truth in the glass in the mirror.
Yeah.
Do it at me, old man, tryna pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see the ass, and he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad bitches here, I'ma curb them all. 12 missed calls, and I still made a curtain call. Here to light it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang on the set list. Going past supper when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list. Young niggas in the reckless. Gold in my soul, got the same on my necklace, bitch.
What's up, peace? Welcome back. Gold. Welcome back, baby. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 8:19 EST. That means that Uncle Jerome, Mr. Jerome Powell, is starting to speak in around 10 minutes from now. If you guys don't know who Jerome Powell is, this is my uncle, okay? He has been providing us with a lot of liquidity, a lot of volatility. We love our old friend. Truly. We're going to see him today. We're going to listen to him today. The reason why is because it's at 8:30, okay? 8:30. So that's actually really good. Usually he speaks way later. So the fact that he's speaking now, I think it's going to definitely create, and this is important, I think it's going to create some volatility in the markets. Mr. Jerome Powell speaking here. Why? US government shutdown, yet Jerome Powell is still speaking. And you can just see it on the price action as well right now. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch Uncle Jerome. We're going to look at the charts while we're watching Uncle Jerome. We're going to see what price does. And then from there onwards, we take it one step further. If you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that like button here. And if you're completely new, then also subscribe. Around 30% of you guys, roughly speaking, are not subscribed yet to this channel. That is way too high. That should be at least 15%, in my opinion. So therefore, subscribe to this channel. We might have a giveaway today if we reach the 500 likes as well here. So hope you guys are all doing well. Let's get the party started. Yes, sir. What a week it was, man. Wow. What a week it was. All over the place. All over the place. Grim Reaper, what's up? Lucifer, my friend, good to see you. MG Pern, the Mr. Mike. Ankit. No one, what's up? Tom, Carlis. Internet is fixed. At least let's pray. Let's see what happens today. Nabosha, Jorn. Trade Talks Bahari. Hey, my friend is back in the stream as well here. Good to see you, bro. How are you? CA Gamer. Arian Obi. Always here to support. Coming up with some valuable information here. Let's see what happens today. Sergio, my friend. Shout out to you, my friend. Yassine, Alberto. Let's get to freaking work. Let's get to work. All right. Let's make it happen. So, first things first. Mr. Jerome Powell. Mr. Jerome Powell. Let's talk about yesterday. Okay. Let's talk about yesterday. Have you guys seen gold? The way it moved, what happened? Have you guys seen what happened actually on a Wednesday? What did we say? What did we tell you guys yesterday about gold and the gold price in general? Okay. What were we talking about yesterday? Remember, we were talking and saying, listen, man, I'm not comfortable with taking longs anymore. Specifically yesterday, okay? Specifically yesterday, I was like, we're overextended here. All right, this is way too far over my head right now. I'm not going to take any more longs, okay? Gold is still holding up really strong. Don't get me wrong. We're still in a macro uptrend. Everything is extremely bullish. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about yesterday, okay? And about the way the market was moving. And what happened? Right, we created a range throughout the New York session. So obviously there was no specific gold trade for that reason. We then broke out, was the fake out. Price broke down super aggressively. Pretty much everyone who came late to the party yesterday got wrecked, got stopped out of their market position because of that reversal play right there. Okay, how do we call that? We call that a CME right here. Okay, we call that a CME play. The consolidation, the manipulation, the expansion here. Then what happened later on? This was during the Asian session. Price came back into the fixed value area low. It's all in your freaking ebook. Okay, it's one of those patterns. Price got rejected. It came to the POC. It got rejected. But every single time when we saw the rejection today, we had no follow through, right? We didn't have that follow through after that rejection. So there is still clearly strength. Our gold is still clearly holding up really well and really strong here. Everyone is talking about gold. Also on YouTube, you see it everywhere. On Instagram, you see it everywhere. people are starting to think, hey, should I invest in gold right now? Gold has been pumping. It literally feels like crypto 2021. That's literally what's happening right now with gold. And there are a lot of reasons for why that may be, all right? You can print gold, right? You can only mine gold. So that by default is interesting, especially when, a lot of people are expecting the dollar to become weaker and weaker over time as well here. So yeah, anyways, bunch of reasons for that. Does it mean you can never short gold? Of course you can short gold. Of course you can find your short entries, but you need the right confirmation for that. Of course. Okay, but anyways, yesterday was definitely not a long setup. We wanted to see that pullback, and we did, okay? Now we're kind of holding up here. So, I don't know. It has been creeping up really slowly. Price has been just literally, compressing right now, where we're back into that same range from yesterday. Same price levels, okay? Jerome Powell speaking in 5 minutes. You obviously have to understand that this is going to be very interesting, right? If he starts speaking, will this have a major impact on gold? And will it have a major impact on, for example, also the crypto market? Okay, that is the question. Because if it is, then probably Bitcoin will also or potentially take a hit as well. Let's see what happens, all right? A lot of guys are still expecting gold to go up. I think it's really hard to say, and especially when Jerome Powell speaks, right? Maybe. We'll see. We'll find out here. The thing is right now, 4 minutes he starts speaking. Wait, we're going to listen to him. We're going to see what he has to say. It's about the interest rate decision here. And what makes it so interesting is the fact that Jerome Powell right now is talking while the US government has shut down. So all eyes on him. That's what's happening. All eyes on him here. Truth Seeker says, so important to know when, and even more important when not to enter the market. Thanks for teaching us. This is an important factor, understanding when to trade and when to stay out, or when to not look for longs anymore. Yes, sir. A quick flush out and gold seems to be recovering, but hey, it's holding up really strong. Definitely holding up really strong. Okay. That's it. That's it. Yassine, Monday win, Tuesday loss, Wednesday win, Thursday win, 3 wins, 1 loss. Good job, my friend. Good job. FAHD, Lorenzo, I let the oil trade running and it went great. You motherfucker. Yeah, of course. Of course. That oil trade played out. If you know, you know. You were there yesterday on stream. If you were there yesterday on stream, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That freaking oil trade, man. That oil trade played out. Absolutely. The thing about oil is as well here, that's actually a really, really good point you're making. If you go to the oil chart right now at the moment here, look at how today it came back towards this beautiful range as well. And how we actually bounced from the fixed fair high again, right? So yes, we did indeed came and took out these highs right there, which was our initial target. Yes. Price rolled over, came back, tapped into the zone, and is now forming a new range. But yeah, congrats if you held on to it. Well done. I mean, you have more balls than I had. You have bigger freaking balls than I had. That's for sure. Well done. All right, I think it's 2 minutes, and I think this guy starts rambling. I'm also curious to see what he has to say here. That's for sure. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Adrian says, I closed it. It was way too choppy. Yes, same. Yeah. I mean, I was almost stopped out. Price came back to my entry. And I usually am not that guy that just, always try to break even ourselves. I'm actually kind of like, once I'm in. I kind of have that mindset. Putting my stop loss on break even after a 1 hour, for example. But, nah, not yesterday. Yeah. Hi Lorenzo, how to spot the confirmation? I missed my entry 2 times today since the morning using the fixed value volume profile, and after missing my entry, and I then saw how perfect of an entry that would have been. Entry models, my friend. We have entry models in our book for that specific exact reason. Okay, you can find it right here in the volume analysis execution phase on page number 57 of your ebook, your free ebook, the ebook that you should have for sure. read through it, read through the entry models, and start practicing those. Okay? CA Gamer, is that really your uncle? I mean, look at me. What do you think? You see the resemblance? Like, I'm not joking. You see it? Yeah, I don't have my glasses on today, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah, it's crazy, I know, right? But anyways, super illegal to get these hints and signals, etc. So yeah, we keep it undercover. We keep it undercover. That's it. That's it. Uncle Jerome, baby. Lorenzo, crowd wants to see you playing the saxophone. I might will one day. Yeah. I might will.
And welcome to the Federal Reserve. My name is Amanda Roberts,
Okay.
and I am a member of the Community Bank Supervision Team, as well as one of the conference organizers. Before we get started, I have to briefly go over some housekeeping items. So the first thing, probably most importantly, is if you haven't found them already, the bathrooms are down the hall and to the right.
It's good to know.
Second, please silence your cell phones. Third, this is a reminder that today's event is being live streamed on the board's YouTube channel. If you ask a question during Q&A, please wait for a microphone and identify yourself. Lastly, as I'm sure you've already discovered, the Federal Reserve is a secure facility. We ask that you please keep your security name tag on all day long, with, of course, the exception of panelists up on stage. You can take it off for that. If you need to step out of the building, or you need a quiet place for a phone call, or you have any other questions, please see one of the board employees sitting right outside the door here at the desk. We are now going to begin our conference with welcoming remarks from the Chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell.
Good morning.
Uncle Jerome.
Good morning, and welcome to the Federal Reserve Board. I'm sorry that I'm traveling today and could not be with you. Thank you to Vice Chair for Supervision, Mickey Bowman, for hosting this conference. Thank you also to all the board's
Is this pre-recorded?
staff that made this event possible. Community banks play a vital role in the U.S. financial system because they have strong links to the people and businesses they serve and direct knowledge of local economic conditions. These close ties allow community bankers to better understand their customers and the ensuing products and services for those they serve. I saw this clearly when I led the board's Community and Regional Bank Subcommittee as a governor. I have also seen the critical role of community banks in the communities where I've lived, including as a community bank customer. Today's event is a helpful opportunity for Fed leaders to hear from community bankers and learn more about the issues you face. We're committed to understanding these issues, and we have long been committed to tailoring our supervisory practices as appropriate for community banks to reduce unnecessary burden, while still ensuring that community banks continue to operate in a safe and sound manner. Thank you so much for being here today to share your knowledge and experience, and thanks for being such a vital part of the communities that you serve.
No, it's definitely not AI.
Well, thank you to Chair Powell for opening our conference this morning.
So he's not gonna be there. Is that literally what they said? Sorry, I am not gonna be there.
It's so wonderful to see all of you here in Washington again with us to discuss and celebrate community banking and to talk about what the future is going to look like. Good morning, Secretary. So it's a privilege for us to be here today and for me to be here with you at the Federal Reserve Board with so many of our nation's bank CEOs, community bank CEOs. I want to start by thanking our bankers for the essential work that you do every day, serving your communities, supporting small businesses and families, and keeping local economies strong and growing. Today's event provides us an opportunity to come together to discuss the future of community banking. This great nation hosts the largest and most efficient financial system in the world, efficient and effective financial system in the world, ensuring that capital flows to those who need it and can put it to productive use. I think of community banks as the foundation of our financial system. You are often the first call for small businesses seeking to grow, for families looking to buy homes, and for anyone seeking to achieve their financial goals. At a time of rapid technological change, a shifting regulatory landscape, and evolving consumer expectations, your work has never been more vital or more challenging. So the purpose of this conference is about looking ahead at the opportunities, the risks, and the innovations that will shape the future of community banking. It's also about telling the community bank story, not only the services that you provide and the impact that you have in your communities, but also the value of having strong, profitable, well-managed companies as the foundation of the banking system. There's a story to tell here, and we want to ensure that community banks tell it and that you create your own narrative. This conference today brings together more than 100 community bank CEOs in person and many more. Our panels include CEOs from across our diverse financial system. And I look forward to hearing directly from these leaders to share what they are seeing, emerging trends, economic shifts, and innovations that are shaping the financial system, including the impact of AI and fraud that will likely affect all of your businesses going forward. This conference technologies with Paxos CEO Chad Cascarilla discussing new technologies, to private credit and the global outlook with Blackstone CEO.
We'll see if this has an impact. We're going to see very soon.
Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev. These leaders will help us think more broadly about how economic and industry developments intersect with community banking. Another special guest joining us today is CNBC host Jim Cramer, who will moderate a panel of experienced community bank CEOs
Uncle
with a
Jimmy.
combined century of banking leadership. Today, we will showcase how community bankers have consistently adapted, innovated, and outperformed while staying true to their mission. These efforts don't necessarily make the headlines on the front page of the business section, but they should. And there's no one better to help elevate the community bank narrative and amplify the value community banks bring to America's economy than CNBC's Jim Cramer. Finally, we will host a traditional policy panel.
If Jim says buy gold, we're going to sell it. We actually will. I believe it's an 85% chance you're going to win. We're going to give that a try, if that's the case.
To serve your communities. These conversations are essential to help shape our thinking and inform how we as regulators can ensure that our supervisory and our regulatory policies are effective, fair, and balanced. The goal and theme running through all of today's panels is clear. There is tremendous support from the public and the private sector for a strong, resilient, thriving community banking industry. Each of our sessions today reflects a shared belief in the importance of community banks to America's economic future. Thank you for being here with us today, both in person and virtually. So now I would like to thank our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, for taking time from his busy schedule to join us here today to discuss community banking. And I'll invite you to share your insights with us now. So thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Good morning.
This should work.
It's an honor to be with you today. Unfortunately, the government is still shut down because members of the Senate refused to support the Clean Government Funding Bill, which was passed by the House weeks ago. Across the Trump administration, we are eager to get the government reopened so agencies can continue to work for the American people. Glad to see all of you were able to continue your work today. This morning, I wish to focus on how we can better serve the American people and the important role community banks play in that effort. To begin, I'd like to express my appreciation to Vice Chair Bowman for arranging this conference. She and I are committed to protecting the role of community banks in our financial system. This conference is a testament to that commitment. As you all know, better than most, regulation has gradually suffocated the banks that are closest to the men and women who work the jobs, pay the bills, and take out the loans that fuel growth in small-town America. Banks that not only know their customers by name, but also their financial hopes and dreams. In other words, banks like yours. To reverse course, earlier this year, I called for a fundamental reset of financial regulation. No longer will regulation serve to entrench big banks and empower Washington bureaucrats to the detriment of community banks and the clients they serve. President Trump and this administration have charted a new course for our economy, one that strengthens both the shop.
Dollar looks significantly weaker right now.
The era of parallel prosperity, where Main Street and Wall Street grow together. Who will turn this vision into reality? The men and women in this room. Community bankers are laying the foundation for America's golden age, one loan, one family, and one small business at a time. My job as Treasury Secretary is to make it easier for you to do your job. To that end, we have worked hard for the first 8 months of this administration to empower community banks to take back control of their own future. This morning, I will discuss why the Trump administration has sought to empower community banks, how we have done it, and where we will go from here. First, why? Community banks are essential to America's heartland. They provide the capital that binds small towns together. Community banks make the charitable contribution for the new playground. They make the loans for small businesses, farmers, and first-time homebuyers. They employ local leaders and teach financial literacy in our schools. Parallel prosperity, as I mentioned before, is the idea that Main Street and Wall Street can grow together, and community banks play an instrumental role in driving growth on the Main Street.
So the NFP will be postponed again? Yeah, most likely. If the government is still shut down, there will probably be no NFP release tomorrow again. So that's probably not going to happen.
Side of the ledger. To expand opportunities for all Americans, the banks that serve Main Street must have the same chance to succeed as the banks that serve Wall Street. But the post-crisis regulatory framework has instead become a threat to the community bank model. Since 2010, we've lost 3,600 community banks, a reduction of over 45%. Community bank share of bank assets have fallen from 23% to 15%. Their share of outstanding bank loans has fallen from 27% to 20%. Their share of outstanding bank CRE loans has fallen from 52% to 41%. This represents an acceleration of trends that predate the 2008 financial crisis. And in a disturbing new development, de novo chartering has...
Honestly, guys, I cannot wait for Jim Cramer, okay? If you don't know who Jim Cramer is, he's been on the CNBC for years, okay? And 80% of what he says usually turns around. So once he starts talking, volatility increases. That's going to be extremely interesting.
Has dropped precipitously, averaging just 6 new banks per year since 2010. For comparison, in the years prior to 2008, there were 100+ new banks chartered each year. The post-crisis framework has left a trail of destruction in its wake by reinforcing the larger economic dynamics that have hollowed out the American heartland while enriching the money centers in coastal cities. To be clear, the financial crisis underscored the need for new regulations. The purpose of Dodd-Frank was to end too big to fail, but it ended up creating too small to succeed. These new regulations entrench the dominance of the largest banks by rewarding economies of scale and necessitating effective lobbying operations here in Washington. What followed was a community bank bottleneck that left America's hometowns reeling. President Trump and this administration have seen what the heavy hand of government has done to community banks and the families you all serve, and he has set out to fix it. Why? Because we know that the Main Street revival starts with a community bank comeback. How will we position community banks to succeed? Let's start with the early wins. Just days after President Trump was sworn into office, the administration began rolling back the regulatory excesses of the Biden years. The regulators ended the politicized use of reputation risk and supervision. They proposed to rescind an embarrassing, complicated 60,000-word Community Reinvestment Act rule, and they retracted a merger policy statement that was both bad policy and bad law. The previous administration pushed for rules and guidance that micromanaged corporate governance, entangled the bank regulators in climate risk management, unduly restricted brokered deposits, precluded responsible bank innovation in crypto and other blockchain technologies, and imposed arbitrary restrictions on incentive compensation. These Biden-era proposals were bad for banks, bad for business, and bad for America, especially Main Street. So President Trump slashed all of them. To restore the strength of community banks, the new administration has replaced this draconian agenda with a new, more constructive agenda. The FDIC, for example, has recommitted to tailoring by proposing to raise and index asset thresholds. It has streamlined examination procedures and branch applications. It has started work to reestablish a supervisory appeals body. Not to be outdone, the OCC has implemented its own reforms. Controller Gould has been on the job for only 12 weeks, but he has already reduced assessments on small banks by 30%, reversed the plan to merge community bank supervision into large bank supervision, and replaced community banks' formulaic examination schedules with a more risk-based approach. Vice Chair Bowman, meanwhile, has long advocated for revisiting the community bank leverage ratio. I expect that effort will soon culminate in a proposed reduction in the community bank leverage ratio. The CFPB, for its part, has started to revamp the Section 1071 reporting requirements and reconsider the open banking rule. And it has withdrawn more than 60 interpretive rules and other guidance documents.
Ooh.
Following the administration's example, Congress has also taken up the effort. It has nullified the CFPB's overdraft rule and prohibited the furnishing of mortgage-related trigger leads. The House Financial Service Committee has likewise advanced 24 important reforms to community bank regulation, while the Senate Banking Committee held a hearing and hopefully will soon mark up an expansion of FDIC insurance on non-interest-bearing transaction accounts. There is still much to look forward to on the regulatory front. This includes 2 new proposals that will reset the culture of supervision. 2 days ago, the FDIC and the OCC proposed a rule that would codify the recently adopted prohibition on using reputation risk as a basis for supervisory criticism. The FDIC and the OCC also proposed a rule that would define unsafe or unsound practice or condition. While simply defining a term might sound like a small thing, it marks a big step forward. Only in the world of unaccountable regulators could a key concept have gone unidentified for so long. The past failure to define this term led to supervisory criticisms focused on process or documentation related to governance, model.
Silver's flying?
Nothing to do with a bank's actual financial condition. This regulatory myopia was a driving force behind the spring of 2023 bank failures. Once finalized, a clear focus on material financial risk will put an end to this nonsense. I'm also optimistic about AML CFT reform. In my meetings with community bankers, they list CTR filings, structuring SARs, and process-focused examinations among their top concerns. Today, FinCEN released FAQs to address pain points on some of these issues, including triggers for restructuring SARs, continuing activity reviews, and the absence of any requirement to document a decision not to file a SAR. These are common sense, yet consequential reforms that will ease regulatory burdens without undermining law enforcement efforts. As part of our broader campaign to modernize illicit finance regulation, FinCEN and the bank regulators are hard at work on a new rule to define the requirements for an effective AML CFT program. My expectation is that a proposal will reset CFT program. I likewise expect that proposal will position FinCEN as a gatekeeper for AML CFT enforcement.
Look at the fixed very high rejection right now.
Process, documentation, and wide latitude for supervisory expectations and judgments that are not always consistent with the law or our national security priorities. A focus on higher value activities will also better serve our law enforcement and national security objectives. These are all important victories, to be sure, but much work remains to be done. Where do we go from here? Going forward, Treasury will continue to drive reforms to improve regulatory tailoring, refocus the culture of supervision, and modernize our illicit finance regulation. Specific priorities will include reforms to the rating system, new processes for monitoring examiners' compliance with supervisory policy, mechanism for independent appeals of supervisory criticisms, coordination to avoid duplicative examinations by different regulators, and review of the core platform providers, including contract terms that prevent community banks from innovating for the future. For community banks to go back on the offensive, we need to take a closer look at the dynamics that have undermined the community bank model and work to fix them. To that end, as I have said before, Treasury is focused on ensuring that modernization of our capital framework ends the capital arbitrage that drives bank lending to non-banks. This will likely entail reduced capital requirements for large banks on mortgage loans, investment-grade corporate loans, and some other important exposures. We must therefore ensure parity by giving smaller banks at least the option to benefit.
Yo, check silver right now. Look at what's happening on silver at the moment. This is absolutely crazy. Look at that. Major push. Gold is struggling. Gold is struggling. Gold is trying to break through here. Through the value high. Is facing some resistance, but look at silver, man. Silver is taking over here. Damn.
My advice, go on the offense, retake market share, chase after customers, champion technology, leverage the new regulatory landscape to your advantage, and expand your role in the American economy. The community bank comeback will help pave the way for America's golden age. Recognize the outsized role you play in this effort and embrace it. Because if you lead the way, Main Street will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Besant. It's wonderful to hear a Treasury Secretary. I'm not sure I've ever heard a Treasury Secretary talk about community banking and the importance of community banks in the United States and for the U.S. economy in my lifetime. So it's really refreshing to hear you engaging on things that are so important to areas like where I'm from and rural communities across this country, and how important community banking is for the foundation of our economy and the economic system. So if you don't mind, we'll start with a question, and thank you for joining me for a fireside chat this morning. But as Treasury Secretary, you oversee U.S. fiscal and macroeconomic policy. So I know every banker in this room is interested to see how you think about how the economy is going to develop over the next 12 to 24 months, and what key risks and opportunities should they be thinking about?
Breakout.
How to shape their businesses going forward.
Well, I come with some good news this morning, and Treasury, because of the Schumer shutdown, will not be able to release the exact numbers, but the CBO jumped the gun a bit, and it was on Bloomberg this morning that the deficit for this fiscal year, ending September 30th, will be slightly lower. When I went to see President Trump and more importantly, the deficit to GDP now has a 5 in front of it. So according to the CBO numbers, and we don't have the Treasury numbers yet, the deficit to GDP will have fallen from about 6.5%, which was the highest when we weren't at war or weren't in a recession in US history, to 5.9%. When I went to see President Trump approximately 2 years ago to tell him that I'd like to come out from behind my desk and get involved with the campaign. Not going to repeat many private conversations, but this was particularly notable. He looked at me, first thing he said, Scott, how are we going to get the debt and deficits down and not cause a recession? And we're on our way. I think we saw that today. So I think the president's economic policy, as many of you would have seen me say before, is a three-legged stool: trade, tax, and deregulation. The tax bill, the one big beautiful bill, has incentives for both corporate America in terms of full expensing for plant property and equipment, and the plant part is new. In the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act 2017, there was full expensing for equipment, but we have added structures for both industrial structures and, importantly, agricultural structures. So, secondly, on the other side of the ledger, it also includes the president's tax policies or campaign promises for working Americans: no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, low tax on Social Security, and interest deductibility if you buy an American car. I think one of the things that we are seeing now, most taxpayers have not changed their withholding stance to reflect this. So we expect to see substantial tax refunds beginning of next year, which I think will be accrue to lower end consumers for the bottom 50% who need the relief. And concurrently, they will change their withholding schedule, so their real take-home pay will be higher next year. On the trade deals, I think one of the underreported aspects of the trade deals.
All right, what we're going to do, guys, here,
we're
going to wait and sit it out until Jim Cramer starts coming on. We might put it back on again when Jim Cramer starts talking here. But honestly, this is just a bunch of rambling right now, right? I can't listen to this shit too much. Too long, okay? Not too long. Clearly, the market has been moving. Silver has been pumping aggressively. Look at that overall reaction, especially when pulling back right here above that range, how we then tapped into the fixed very high of that level here, bounced from that level and actually went skyrocketed here. The thing is with this new stuff, it could easily just go the other direction. We all know that. We all know that. So anyways, gold broke out of the fixed very high as well. That means one thing and one thing for sure. If we see that closure above, there's no reason to be bearish on gold, right? There is no reason to try to short gold in any way, shape, or form. You break above that key level, critical zone. You're trading above the area where yesterday also the most volume was traded. Okay, so that is clearly what's going on right now. And yeah, I mean, gold is bullish. Gold is bullish. Silver is bullish. The metals are absolutely crushing it. And the dollar is slowing down once again. So that's clear. Now it says, wait for a retest. What do you think? Well, actually, yes. If you do see some sort of entry model getting formed here around the fixed very high, it might be interesting. We have seen that major resistance beforehand. So that is true. We have to wait and see what happens also when Jim Cramer starts speaking, because we're not done yet, right? This conversation can last. We're pumping at the beginning. Along the way, we will see how this develops over time. For now, bullish. CA Gamer says, I think we sell today. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Things are looking really, really, really strong right now. And if it does happen, and if you do want to look for sells, I mean, you need to close below this red line. Okay? We need to close below this red line right here at 54, 50, 40, 58 on futures, and on spot. Let me see what it is on spot, actually. That's a good point. It's probably a bit lower. It's probably a little bit lower. Yeah, you need to close below the 435. Yeah. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Silver is pushing hard. Gold is following, right? That's so interesting. Sometimes gold is pushing harder than silver does. In this case, it's the other way around. Clearly, gold is trying to make it and try to break the previous high or previous daily highs. If it does take out the previous daily highs, pulls back and closes below any of these levels, then that might indeed be the ultimate manipulation for that push down. That's true. But for now, no signs of weakness yet. Says silver was such a beautiful CME play. Tapped into the fixed POC. Yeah, the fixed very high on futures. Yes, might be the fixed POC on spot indeed. Yeah, exactly. CME plays are a real thing. Okay, even if you are like, let's say, a short-term scalper or anything that matter. You know, some of you guys, I know you guys are. Some of you guys are scalpers, right? So I know by default that. What tends to happen a lot is if you do create some sort of pattern like this right here. Let me actually clean this chart. And let me show you this on gold right now. And let's look back. And we go down. Pull back into this range. Do you see how that range was formed yesterday? How this breakout was the fake move, right? To anticipate a lot of whatever. Buy stops were activated. A lot of guys were long on the retest. All that stuff, right? Price broke down. If you draw the fixtures bar profile from the left to the right over that previous range here, so you mark out the range first, you know, maybe something like this, right? Pretty subjective, right? You mark out the range first, you see the breakout, the fake move right here. You mark out this range, if it loads. There we go. And you mark out the fixed very low first. Why? Because this is the first level that you're gonna meet, okay? So even in an uptrend, right? Even in a strong macro uptrend, gold is clearly bullish. Even then, even throughout that phase, you can see that when price pulls back, it taps into it. It taps into it. Look on the 30-minute. Look at how it taps into the fixed very low here and how it breaks down until it started to push up again, right? It couldn't follow through, right? Couldn't break the lows here. Like regardless, this move right here by itself, okay, after that closure, is still around 280 pips to the downside. All right, so for you guys that are scalpers, you know, this specific trading pattern tends to react. It tends to react from a level here. Even if you go in and you go out, you go in, you go out. Let me see if I can find another example. I remember this last week, okay? We talked about the same pattern. Look at this one right here. We had that range. We had that fake move to the upside. We broke out. We came down. Price break broke through, pulled back. Fixed foreign profile over the range. Where did we tap into? Fixed very low right there. You see that? So even in an uptrend, even when there is, you know, when you look at a macro bullish trend or something like that, and you do react, you tend to at least create somewhat of a pushback, which is kind of the higher low. okay? The higher low formation followed by a push further towards the upside right there. So that's something that you can always look at, okay? You can always try to look at it, okay? And see how effective that actually is, because these moves for some of you guys might be big enough moves to capitalize from, okay? Similar to what we seen yesterday. So yeah, clearly price broke down. After that, we just started to go up. And then, you know, clearly we are now bullish again. We're pushing back higher. We're going to go for the previous daily, pretty much the previous daily highs right here, right? That's kind of the idea right now, that we're pushing into or trying to break through, taking out yesterday's highs right around there. That's something that probably on gold's radar right now. But yeah, just a way to look at the market, okay? This happens a lot on gold, a lot, okay? So therefore, when you guys are saying, you know, you should never short gold in an uptrend, yes and no. Yes and no. You should manage your risk better. That's my perspective. You should manage your risk better. You should have tighter risk management, lower your risk a bit. But anyways, these confirmations are there. Pullbacks happen, even in uptrends. If you know how to spot those, you can take advantage of it, okay? But you need to have studied these exact patterns in order to get there. Longs are still clearly winning. Yeah. But I know some of you guys love that shit. Love that shit. Love that scalping. Love getting in, getting out. Have a look at it. Test it out for yourself and see what happens. Where can we sell next? We cannot, because right now at the moment, there is no reversal pattern or anything in that manner, right? It's just bullish. There's for me no bearish structure right now that's getting formed. That shows me that there is, you know, any directional buys for sells right now at the moment. Yeah, yes, the last moment when I was potentially interested in selling was actually right around there, right around the POC here, okay? But the moment we actually start closing above that level, I knew it would be very hard to start following through here. Because if gold creates a manipulation range, it breaks out to the upside, which traps a shit ton of buyers yesterday, okay? This is why we didn't buy. This is why we didn't execute. Price broke down. That initial pullback couldn't break the lows. And then also this pullback right here on the POC, it couldn't break the lows. That signifies strength. That just signifies strength. You want to see that reaction from that range, and you want to create a lower low. You want to create at least a lower low, right? The idea of this whole trend and this whole range and this whole manipulation is to reverse trend. If trend breaks down and it pulls back and it doesn't it failed to create a new lower low, macro is winning. The higher time frame is winning. Buyers are still in control. All right, guys, today we have the giveaway probably at the end of the stream. If we can reach the 500 likes today, all right? 30% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you are new, get the LTA Concepts book for free. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and then you might have a chance. Last week, we gave away a 25K account, FundedNext. The previous week or the week before that as well here. Yes, sir. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this. What about news? We're simply waiting for this to be over with right now. We're waiting for Jimmy Cramer, the man himself. Who knows who Jim Cramer is? If you haven't heard of him, It is this guy right here, okay? Jimmy Cramer from the CNBC. You probably know his face. You've probably seen him before. If you are a trader and you don't know who this guy is, then I highly recommend you to do some research, because he has been purposefully actually showcasing this in like some hidden video, how he was manipulating the retail trader. It was actually exposed. He was exposed or something like that. You should watch it. It's actually very interesting. Yeah, we might watch it one day. We might watch it. If Jim Cramer just buy metals, the metals are skyrocketing. Watch what happens to gold. Watch what happens to silver. I can't freaking wait, actually. That would be really, really funny to watch. That would be really funny to watch. Jim Cramer, yes. He's been doing this for 30, 40 years, really. Yes, sir. The inverse Cramer strategy. You know that one? You heard about it? Silver is just flying. Oh, shit. Yes. Oh, my freaking God. Silver is rocketing. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. Look at that reaction. And again, you can see how important these ranges are, right? You pull back, you break above it, pull back, hold above that level. Crazy push towards the upside. Yeah. Crazy. This is, we're talking like, what, 2% right now in around 30 minutes, 1 hour. No. 3% in around 2 hours. You know how much money that is? Yeah. Dollar finally dumping. Yeah. Dollar is coming down, indeed. Dollar is trying to push down a little bit. It might look extremely aggressive, but it's actually not really. The metals are just skyrocketing right now. This is nothing, right? This push for the dollar downwards is actually just it's a fraction. Not much. It's nothing. We're still above that range. We're still reacting from the value high as well here. Look at that. Same level. It's not as crazy as silver, or it's not as crazy as gold here. Let's see if gold takes the all-time highs. Yeah, there was some crazy news about gold and silver as well here. Everyone is starting to talk about it. I'm not sure if you guys follow the news or anything in that manner, but it's literally, yeah, it's everyone. Everyone is pretty much talking about gold right now. And let me see if I can find some examples for you, but it's absolutely the case. It's hitting all the major headlines at the moment. And this obviously has to do with the government shutdown. It has to do with the dollar. It has to do with the stock market. It has to do with, there's just a tremendous amount of fear in the market right now. It's about central banks buying a shit ton of gold. Yes. So when people say like, when central banks are buying gold, why are you selling? Well, sometimes there is a sell setup. Everything what comes up must come down as well. Everything that creates a high creates potentially a higher low. Therefore, why not take an advantage of this? Just know how to manage your risk. Yeah, right here. Okay. This is a good example. Definitely worth checking out. I haven't seen this video myself, but it might explain something that might be interesting to us to know what is actually going on here. So we're gonna give it a try anyways.
It has soared. Yep, the price of gold, it has soared to over $4,000 an ounce for the first time ever, with silver also making unprecedented gains. Experts say geopolitical and economic uncertainty has sent investors flocking to the safe haven of precious metals.
Gold has never been so expensive. America's budget crisis has sent investors on a gold rush. Many big economies are under pressure to slash interest rates. The feat that could stoke inflation, combined with a heavy debt load, is also pushing people towards safer investments.
We have global crises, we have trade conflicts. Naturally, people look for something stable, a safe haven, and that is gold. It's no longer as it used to be. The American bond market, on the contrary, due to America's excessive debt and also escapades of the US government, the safe haven is now closed. And here we see that especially the Chinese, but also emerging markets like to rely on gold. The motto is gold never disappoints. Gold has no default risk, and gold will still be valuable tomorrow and the day after tomorrow.
The yen slide is another factor. The woman expected to be Japan's next prime minister.
It absolutely blows my mind. It blows my mind how people are willing to buy gold at an all-time high at 48% gain this year so far. And it only seems to accelerate.
Sane Takaichi is promising more government spending and loose monetary policy. With the yen losing its role as a safe currency, gold looks even more appealing. After weeks of steady gains, gold prices have jumped again in recent days. Since January, it's up around 50%. And analysts are betting on more to come. Goldman Sachs expecting gold to edge near $5,000 by the end of next year.
We still have very high levels of debt, and central banks are no longer taking the fight against inflation quite as seriously because they need to keep government debt affordable. That means that inflation eats up the interest on loans, leaving nothing of your money in the end. So the last truly safe haven in this world, apart from stocks, is gold.
Central banks are still buying to shore up their currencies, especially in emerging markets where demand for gold remains strong.
All right, I'm joined now by Sandra Navidi. She's CEO of the consultancy firm Beyond Global, which is based in New York City. Sandra, it's good to see you. You know, we live in a world where Bitcoin cryptocurrency is floating around at well over $120,000. And then you have old-fashioned gold climbing to $4,000 an ounce. Help make some sense of this for us.
Well, gold has traditionally been considered as a safe haven, especially in view of economic instability and uncertainty and geopolitical crises. We're seeing a similar trend with regard to Bitcoin. Gold and Bitcoin haven't historically been correlated necessarily, but more recently we've seen similar moves. That all points to the fact that investors globally and also central banks are seeking a safer asset in gold.
And are we also seeing seemingly unconnected events such as the government shutdown in the U.S., the likely incoming prime minister of Japan, the conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine? Are they all having an influence on the price of gold?
Yes, what we're seeing is that the world becomes more unpredictable and uncertain, and that's something that investors traditionally don't like. Now, we're seeing also that the three major rating agencies have all downgraded the United States in the last few years. And that was due to the fact that they've seen political instability and institutional dysfunction. So we're seeing that trust in the
anything that you can't print, anything that you cannot just press, anything which you don't have to press enter on your keyboard will go up in value. And it's not necessarily always about gold going up in value, scarce, safe haven. What about dollar weakness? If you print a shit ton of dollar, if the money supply is going up and you simply buy up all the things that you cannot print more of, 1 + 1 is 2, right?
United States and the dollar as a safe haven is diminishing. We've also seen capital outflows out of the United States, and that all points to the fact that investors are seeking other safe havens. And then, of course, we have a president in Donald Trump who's not exactly a stable genius, and we're seeing he's causing a lot of headline risks. Tariffs on, tariffs off, deportations, military in the streets, no more HB1 visa. I can tell you that behind the scenes, investors and CEOs are very worried. Many are concerned and are reluctant to voice their concerns. And we've even seen analysts are basically saying, I can't tell investors the whole truth because we fear repercussions against our companies. So there's a whole slew of factors that makes investors very worried and seek refuge in gold.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly gives new meaning to the term that we all know of the Gilded Age. It sounds like what you're describing there with the U.S. president. I'm wondering, Sandra, what does this record-setting price of gold, what does it mean for people who aren't even dreaming of investing in gold?
Well, the reason why gold has this safe haven status is that it has cultural, historic value, and also a very great emotional component. Now, in countries like India, it has great cultural meaning, dowries invested in gold. And then we've seen in Russia, in China, central banks have increased their holdings in gold primarily to lessen their dependency on the dollar. We remember the fact that Europe and the US have frozen Russian assets, dollar-denominated Russian assets. And so now maybe they will even confiscate them. And that has other countries worried that if they have too much invested in dollars, it could also be confiscated if there were a crisis to come up. So they have increased their dollar holdings, and that also contributed to increased demand in gold, which puts upward pressure on prices.
And you know,
I'm extremely curious how far we can take this, because this is gonna be actually Q4, baby. Q4. The expansion phase. Lorenzo, I still have a position at the open at 37.11. Should I stay in? There is no reason for me to say now to short or to close your position. I mean, if you're in at from 3711, right? You can do a couple things. You can throw your stop loss. You can wait for a bearish reversal. Right? You have so much room. Think about what you want to do with your position here. Congratulations, by the way. That's actually a really, really good trade setup. I keep it up. You have a lot of freedom. So far, so good. How does Calista have 2,000 live viewers and you only have 800? We took a break. We haven't been streaming for a long time. We just came back on the streams. We're gaining that momentum. We're gaining that momentum again with the group at LTA. That's what's happening. Do you have any idea and any insights in the CUT data? Right now, at the moment, if the government is shut down, there will not be any new CUT data. Lorenzo, where you monitor fundamentals? Any credible websites? If you trade gold here, you can go to this website right here. Go to gold.org and look at the actual historical supply and demand data, all right? If you want to understand the real data behind gold, that's the website to look at. You can actually see what's going on and use AI or something. Right? Try to figure out what it actually means. So you see the value of it. Yeah, you understand the accumulation, etc. right here. Do you think that gold will ever reverse? Ever? Well, anything is possible, my friend. Anything is possible. I mean, look at the daily. This what we call is parabolic, right? Let's go to the weekly actually. This is what we call parabolic. Like, you understand, right, that at some point you are overextended and you have to pull back. Like, regardless of any strong, bullish, whatever the case may be here, at some point you have to make a pullback, right? Should you try to short the top or try to predict the top and hold a long-term short swing position? I don't think that's the best idea. I don't think that's the smartest point. That was a good pullback. Well, not really. I mean, we're going for the previous daily highs right now. And we have Jim Cramer speaking soon. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Jim Cramer. That's our guy. That's our guy. Come on. Put our faith in Uncle Jimmy right now. Are you currently long? Are you guys currently long in gold? Yes or no? Let me know. Are you guys currently in position here? I haven't taken a trade today. I tried one trade, quickly got out of it, and that's pretty much it from my side right now at this current moment. The main reason is just the way the market has been moving here. Obviously, silver looked very good, but that happened right pre-stream. Missed out on that one here. Overall, still up for the week, which I'm very happy about because it was kind of a messy week for me personally as well. I know some of you guys absolutely crushed it. For me, it was pretty messy. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I think I'm up around $6,000 or $7,000 in total across all the accounts, and that's nothing crazy. That's nothing crazy. Adrian says I'm long. I took profits. Yes, I'm gonna sell at 4.058. Yes, up 400. Lorenzo, what about Forex? That is actually a really good point here, because if the dollar is coming down, which is actually, it's not. The dollar is not coming down, okay? The dollar is actually holding up really well. Dollar is holding up really well, and this is what's crazy, because usually it's the dollar strength that suppresses gold. The dollar has been rising this week almost as much as gold has. So, hey, this is what shows you that the market is on a wild run, and we're dealing with external factors right now. That is just that is the truth of it. Do you show your execution? Yes, all the time. All the time. All the time. How close are you to your payout? Yeah, I showed it yesterday. Watch yesterday's stream. Nothing has changed ever since. We're still sitting at around, what? $6,500, $13,000 payout right now. We want to work our way to the $25,000 payout. That's the idea. I explained yesterday why. All has to do with the drawdown limit. Do you think the dollar is going to drop? Well, if the dollar right now is looking like this, it's not really strong. It's holding up though, which is very impressive. But if you look at things like the EURUSD, what I'm keeping a very close eye on is this level right here. And I think this is, or should be for you, a very important zone to pay a lot of attention to. It's this daily demand zone, okay? I've been waiting for the euro to get into that zone already for a while. I expected it to come down a bit faster, a bit more aggressively into that zone as well. We tapped into that zone already beforehand right here. We got up immediately. We're getting very close to another, push down into the EURUSD here. So I'm paying a lot of attention to the EURUSD. We are also obviously undervalued against the dollar as well here, specifically on futures. There we go. You can see that very clearly, right? We have that undervaluation. That's the bottom, undervaluation. That's the bottom, undervaluation right here against the dollar. That is the bottom. Right now, we're dealing with an undervaluation. And that demand is next. So the way to time it is by simply waiting for higher time frame demand to be hit first. If that happens, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So if the dollar then comes down and starts reacting and giving us bearish signals, it's already slowing down, then this zone might be very interesting. Now, obviously, for a lower time frame perspective, it's simple, right? Tap into it, wait for a range to be formed, and then it's all about the CRC or the CME, sorry, or the CRC. That's it, boom. Wait for these reversal plays or the manipulation, trade the reversal setups, and then start scaling in, scaling in, scaling in. For now, it's coming down here. Also, Ryu, besides the EURUSD, also Ryu in our Telegram shared his viewpoint on the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar for the people who are interested in Forex. This is also another layer, which is in my opinion extremely important. The New Zealand dollar against the US dollar right here, we had that rejection from that range right there. He gave that signal in our Telegram yesterday. And if you guys paid attention to that, that was an absolute freaking beauty, man. An absolute freaking beauty. Shout out to Ryu, my friend. Currently streaming also in the New York session as well here on our trading floor. But if you look here at the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar, look at that reaction, right? Look at that range. Look at how we tapped into that level and how we sold off. How we sold off and broke down and are now starting to create potentially, that follow through. If the dollar holds. If the dollar holds here, okay, New Zealand dollar against US dollar will tank. It will come down more, all right? That's what's happening. If the New Zealand dollar, if the dollar holds, the New Zealand dollar is weak. It's one of the weakest currencies at the moment. Ryu gave that perfect signal in our Telegram yesterday. This is a potential follow-up, right? We're also dealing with this range as well here. So, just pay attention to this. I would say so, right? I really would say so. That is definitely something. Yeah. What about a gold trade? Well, the thing is, if we pull back to the fixed very high, right, Jim Cramer will probably start speaking already. So I think volatility will increase. This event could have, unfortunately, some sort of anti-climax, okay, where prices reverse or anything. It all depends on what the speech will, what the speech will do. Yeah, New Zealand dollar looking weak. True lenses as well. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar has different price action, but the same story. The New Zealand dollar is crazy weak. Okay. Now, let me show you how you can spot the strongest and the weakest currencies in the market at all times. Okay. We call this the money flow index. We've created the baskets, the custom formulas, and this is something that someone doesn't really know, okay? And I will explain exactly what I mean with this. There is something that you can do in TradingView that literally no one knows about, okay? And when I say no one, literally no one knows about it. I don't know why. It's hidden, no one talks about it. I haven't seen it on YouTube. It's actually quite crazy. All right, so what you can do in the symbol search of TradingView is you can actually type in a custom formula, okay? Right there. So what you can in essence do is you can have all kinds of different ways of creating the custom formulas to create the perfect basket, okay? You understand the dollar index, right? You understand that the dollar index is formulated out of different currencies. That's how the dollar index works. Okay, so if you type in dollar index on Google, and we showcase its weighings, okay, you can see that the dollar is usually measured against 4, 5, 6 different currencies. I think it's like 6 or something. Let me see where it is. Okay, there we go. This is the dollar index view in a nutshell. All right, and this is super important. So you can see it right there. Okay, the dollar index is measured against the euro. Okay, 57.6% against the euro. The yen, the pound, the Canadian dollar, the Swedish krona, okay, and then the Swiss franc. So that is how the dollar index is formulated. So if any of these other currencies go up together, the dollar comes down and vice versa, okay? They have a major impact on the dollar. So that's the way it moves. So now you can do this for any other currency. You can build these baskets for any currency possible. Okay? And this is a custom formula specifically for the New Zealand dollar. So if you type that in here, you click on enter, you now have the basket of the New Zealand dollar against all the other currencies. Okay? So how do you use that? Well, clearly, right, the New Zealand dollar has been underperforming against pretty much any other currency. Okay, so if you can spot weakness on this chart, then you can simply see that rejection right here. This is crazy rejection right there, right? That rejection, okay? And you could say, okay, the New Zealand dollar is in resistance on the higher time frame, okay? So I'm gonna now look for the other currency against the New Zealand dollar that looks strong. And then from there, you know, we can start looking at things like, what is a strong currency? The pound, the euro, right? This has been outperforming. And then from that moment onwards, you can go through all the baskets. You can then type in the euro against the New Zealand dollar. And look at how much the euro has been rising against the New Zealand dollar, right? That's how you can create a clear bias. And throughout each day, you can kind of see what's strong and what is weak. So for today, the Australian dollar has been performing really well. And the weakest one has been, again, the New Zealand dollar, pound, etc. here. So for example, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar is bullish. You see that? So that could be something that you would then pay attention to, right? And how can you trade that? By just following your LTA setups and go from there. Gold dropping, baby. Okay. Has the speech already started? Not yet, not yet, not yet. So, hey, can't trust the goldies. Here from Callisto Stream, first time on your stream. Welcome, my friend. We do things a little bit differently here, okay? So if you are new and you're completely new and you don't know who I am and what I do, I wrote a book, okay? And I wrote a book this year. I actually took a lot of time off to write this book. I was like, you know what? The best thing that I can do right now is the following, okay? I can write the book. This ebook gives you the ultimate framework, okay? Then I go live because the live stream showcase it live, right? And then you have the Telegram for the daily setups, the guidance, and then the VIP group, of course, for the insider tools and the elite community here. But if you're new, the best thing that you can do is simply download my free book, read through the first pages, get familiar. It reads like a real book, gives you all the insights you need to understand how we execute, what we're looking for, and you know, then it comes down to the live streams, right? The reality of trading. The ups, the downs, the left, the right. But I highly recommend you to read it. I highly recommend you to read it. Yes, sir. Good to have you here, my friend. Why are we sharing this book for free? It looks really good. Because all the information that we have in here has already been created beforehand, okay? However, we took the best of the best. We formulated, we created a system out of it. That system works. We have all the proven data and real trades in this system right here. This is all the data of all the trades. So whenever someone comes on stream and they says like, yeah, trading doesn't work because we have a bad week, right? Everyone has a bad week sometimes. Then just look at all the data. Look at all the historical data. And you understand what we're doing here, okay? So it serves as a framework. It serves as something that we can rely on. And we want to have, you know, we want to give this to as many people as possible. That's pretty much the possibility here. You want to learn, right? You want to learn. You want to see me take trades live. I get that. That's what we're doing. But at the same time, you also want to learn the actual framework behind it. I think that makes sense here. If you want to become a better version of yourself, obviously. What do you think about the speech? Will it be good for gold, or are we looking for a comeback? Well, there is no speech currently at the moment. There was nothing special at the moment here. I did expect at the beginning, to be honest, that Jerome Powell himself would be speaking. He literally gave us a 20-second scripted, pre-recorded introduction that he will not be there. But now we know that Uncle Jerome is not coming. Jim Cramer is coming. That's gonna probably do something to the markets, as it always has done in the past. Man, a lot of guys that are buying now are, yeah, I'm telling you guys, today's one of those days where you have to be more patient. You have to be cautious right here, okay? Some people probably went long. They followed the signal from some group right now, 5 minutes ago. Price reverses. This is one of those days, guys. And this is why understanding the strategy behind someone's signal group is so extremely important. That's just the reality. We have been talking about this always in our own group, where we say, listen, yes, obviously we give setups, we give trading ideas, right? We talk about these things all the time. I upload daily videos every day. Every day I upload a video, every day. You want to understand the reasoning, correct? If you get upset with someone giving you a signal, you take the trade, you don't understand the trade, you just do it. TP1, TP2, TP3, TP 86.5. And you start becoming upset when you lose. Bro, that's your own mistake. That's truly your own fault. Like, you get that, right? You get that. You have to take your responsibility there. Okay? If you understand someone's approach, you build confidence around it because you've probably tested it. You've probably have been trying it out yourself. You're probably trying to understand how it works. And once you then get insights from someone, it's like, oh yeah, right, boom. Oh, a CME play right there, or a EM1 right there. Oh, okay, yeah. Then it starts clicking. That's the way we preach. That's the way I think, you know, it's much better. The only reason why I trade live is because I have simply nothing to hide. That's a crazy move, by the way. I'm not gonna lie. That's a crazy move. That's a crazy flip right there. Damn. Silver dumping, yeah, it is one of these freaking days, guys. Holy moly, look at silver. Look at silver. I believe we came up, roughly speaking, around what, 2-3%? We came up 3%. We are now dropping 2.1% in 30 minutes. That's in 30 minutes. Yeah, look. Damn. That is really crazy, okay? How would I perceive this? Well, number one, all levels are getting disrespected today, okay? We kind of have been seeing a reaction. which is interesting. We have been seeing that previously right here, the POC right there, the very low right there, the very high, clearly. But now it's just smashed. It's absolutely destroyed here. So I'm gonna simply wait for price to pull back into the POC. But it's extremely risky today, I'm not gonna lie. You can tell. Who was in a long position, be honest? Who was in a long position here on gold? You know this is happening right now. You know that the speech is happening right now. Okay? You know it. Oh my God. Below the very low again. Okay. Damn. Mark this one out. Yeah, this is a major manipulation here. This is a crazy move. We've been building longs all day long. Range, manipulation, expansion. Again, we've talked about this before. I literally told you guys the example at the beginning of the stream. I said that the fixed very low tends to have a reaction. Okay, we have seen that before. We are creating somewhat of a manipulation again here, where we range throughout the London session. New York takes out highs, pulls back, reverses sharply, closes below, and then pulls back into that London range right there. So yeah, it's not looking good for gold. This is not looking good. Yesterday as well, range, breakout, manipulation, pullback. That's why I was so surprised actually, because I did expect it after yesterday when we said, you know, we're not gonna long gold right now because it's overextended. This is too much. It's getting too wild. And price flipped bearish and it reversed back and, you know, pulled back into that range and got rejected here. I expected, to be honest, more or less a follow through. I expected to follow through already, but we didn't. We didn't. And then later on, I realized, oh yeah, shit, we have that speech later from Jerome Powell. Probably everyone is waiting for that speech to happen or to come. Like, oh yeah, okay, better stay out of gold now. Wait for that speech to be over or get at least some more clarity there. Because this is all over the place. Rich says people learn to trade without depending on a YouTuber. I completely agree. This is why we have to book. This is why you have to book, right? So also in your off time, when I'm not live or something, you can literally just do the research, do the back testing, test things out yourself, and follow a clear system here. Never buy the highs. I mean, that's not always true though. We know that. We know that. You know, sometimes it's good to buy the highs because gold can go up and it can go up. We know that before. How many times have we bought the all-time highs? We have done it a couple times on stream. We took a CME trade from the fixed for high, price tapped, created a new all-time high. We have seen it many times before. But Asian session yesterday and at the snappy reversal, we knew something was up here. Lorenzo, how long have you been trading? I've been trading since 2000. I've been trading since 2017. I started in crypto and I moved to Forex in 2020. 2020. I started streaming the end of 2022. And now it's already what? The end of 2025. Time flies, my friends. We've seen some cycles now. It's been a wild ride so far. You know, I just love the trading game. Okay? I love the trading game. We get to learn and master finance. And you can make money from anywhere in the world, right? Like, how amazing is that? Are you in any positions right now? No, not at the moment. Not really. No, we're sitting out our account. We want to stay up. we are working our way towards another new payout, a new fresh payout again. Yeah, we want to do it with clarity and consistency. That's what we're looking for. Clarity and consistency. If you do, however, pull back into the fixed value area low in the POC here, then it might be interesting, right? Because this is a serious manipulation, a serious breakdown. If we manage to close the day at an all-time high, guys, I eat my freaking shoe. No. I wanted to say I shaved my head. I'll probably not do that, but I would do something else because that would be absolutely ridiculous. You don't trade your live account anymore, Lorenzo. My live account, not really, not for day trading. No. At the moment, what I'm doing, I'm taking swing positions for my live account, larger swing positions, and I'll simply use this for the streams, for the trading, which is a perfect combination in my opinion. Check the EURUSD. Is the dollar pushing up? If the dollar is pushing up and it's holding the value high, it is. And then the euro is coming down more. The New Zealand dollar is breaking down, right? We talked about the New Zealand dollar against this dollar. Then it has to be coming down right now. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man. Dollar is holding that level. And if the dollar starts pushing up, it will have an impact on things like gold and silver, etc. right here. That's true. Think is, should I buy now gold? Yes, you should buy gold now. Of course not. Okay, I'm in long. Yeah, right. Last time someone said like, yo, Lorenzo, just take, why don't you take a trade? Remember? I said, okay, well, if you just want me to take a position randomly, you just want me to not follow my strategy in my system, then yeah, okay, I will take an entry. Sure, here you go. Obviously, I lost that trade. Yeah. I mean, it was still a 50-50 chance because obviously, like, I was just pressing a random button. But yeah. No, this is a major breakdown reversal play, you know. But trying to bottom fish this full up reversal play, it's very tricky. Very tricky. Very tricky. Yeah. You guys know, right, that by default right now that everyone can switch on a dime, right? Have you noticed this? Like, people are extremely freaking bullish. Gold is gonna go to $4,200 right now. Like, trust me, bro. Trust me. It's gonna happen. Like, I see it. I feel it. It's gonna happen. And then 5 minutes later, they ask, yo, should I short it? I'm like, bro, what? You're just like, you just said it was gonna go to 4,200. Yeah, I know, but like, you know. What would an ideal buy setup be for you? Okay, that's a good question. So for me personally, there are no clear ranges to me right here. I think this is kind of messy whatsoever, right? We are failing to take out the previous highs. Clearly, we failed to do that. We failed to take out the previous daily highs. Yesterday already, we created that range that we were talking about, and that manipulation came, and that rejection came. So this is in essence what we can call now a lower low, right? A lower low, lower high formation. Right, so if we now create a lower low, then that doesn't necessarily mean we're bearish still, right? Why? Because just look at the higher time frame, man. Look at the higher time frame. Just look at where we are. Look at this 8-hour demand zone, okay? So my ideal case scenario would be for buys right now, right? Either price pulls back and takes out the previous lows, the previous daily lows, or the opening lows of today. It pulls into that 8-hour demand zone right here, which is a very clean zone, by the way. And we see somewhat of an internal confirmation on the lower time frame. That would be the ideal. But right now, we're heading for that 8-hour demand zone right there. That is what I'm seeing on gold. Why is this so important? Well, we always talk about the foundation and about the 5 pillars, and the macro technicals being one of those. I never look below the 8-hour time frame. So for me, it's the 8-hour, the 12-hour, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. And I don't really look underneath or under the 8-hour supply or demand. So it's the 8-hour, 12-hour, daily, weekly, monthly. So the 8-hour comes first in this case, and this is a major zone that is clearly important to pay attention to. And that is the 4,000 on futures, which is also a psychological number. So by default, it's a super important level or zone to pay attention to, and to see then what will happen internally. Like, are we seeing a bounce? Are we seeing somewhat of a range getting formed? Do we break out? Do we pull back, right? That's the moment I would say long setups are very clear. On the lower time frame, for example, if we would say what are like the lower time frame long setups that you would look for, yeah, well, clearly we now at this moment have to break the highs and pull back, right? Has to break the highs and pull back. Orilo says, this channel used to get 2,000 live viewers. What happened? We took an 11-month break to write a book, LTA Concepts, Trading War Map. It's a 300-pager. So it's 300 pages of information that we utilize, and it has helped our traders in our trading floor, the traders in our VIP, the traders in our Telegram, tremendously. So that's why. And we're back on the streams again. We're gaining back that momentum again. It's a great feeling to be back on the streams. I actually really missed it. I really missed going live for you guys and showcasing. I couldn't wait showcasing what we have been working on, and just lead you through the system, right? Because most communities are scattered, and we just built a system where just everything works together. It's an ecosystem. And building that ecosystem took a really, really long time. Because everything has to be perfect. You know, we always refer it back to like Singapore. You guys know Singapore is killing it, right? Like one of the best. Singapore has no commodities, but they're one of the wealthiest nations, states in the world. And everything works. Everything is organized. Everything works like it should, how it should be. It takes a long time. If you want to build a serious community, okay? If you want to build a serious community, you have to build something up. And you have to fine tune it and constantly see where you can make things better. And yeah, that takes a long time, man. That takes a long time. Lorenzo, show us the shoes. You have some sort of kind of foot fetish or something? Why do you want to see my feet? That's a bit like, you know what I mean? You know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. You're intending to stream until which date? We're streaming here, man. I'm here. I have a mission, okay? I have a mission. Trading changed my life. Okay? I live on a beautiful island already for 5 years. I live in Bali for 5 years already. Everything is organized. Everything works. And I was able to create my dream life because of trading, okay? And what I like even more is the fact that I can build now communities. And building communities is one of the fun, it's one of the hardest things to do, but it's also the most rewarding things to do as well. Why is it hard? Well, the reason why it's hard is because people come and go at the beginning, especially. You have a lot of ego, guys that come in. You know, the system is not fully developed and organized, and they come in and they think that they can take over a community, or they think that they're the best, or they think that they're better traders than others, disrespecting other members, right? So you need to filter all that shit out. And once everyone is on the same page, best feeling in the world. I started where most of you guys started, right? I lost money. I fell for all the traps. And the only reason I trade now consistently is because I follow a very clear system. And I just don't deviate from that system, okay? And people always like to judge someone on a single trade or in the moment, right? But a system is a system. And as long as that's followed, things will work out. So my question to you is, are you following a system? And if you are, then you are already in the 1%. You don't necessarily have to be profitable. If you are able to just follow a clear system by default, then that by itself already is an accomplishment. Because according to what I've noticed, is that 90% just does some random shit. And listen, I've been there before too. I've done a lot of random shit too. And I was also one of those guys. I took a trade and I won the trade and I was so proud. And the moment I won a trade, I wanted to show my trade to the world. I wanted to show it to everyone. Look at me. Look at how good my trade is. Well, okay, good. Hey, great, man. Congratulations. It's like pressing, on red, on the roulette. And then, bragging about how good that move was. Like, wow, you pressed on red on the roulette and it went actually to red. Wow, that's great. That's amazing. So yeah, obviously that 8-hour demand zone is what a lot of people will underestimate. I do believe that. If you go to the 8-hour time frame, and it's so ironic because what's going to happen is price is going to push down, and you know we're going to come into this 8-hour demand zone. Just by default, ask yourself the question on gold here: when was the last time we created a lower low on the higher time frame? Like, let's say on the 8-hour time frame right now. The reason I use the 8 hours because it's very clean sometimes with the supply and demand. And I'll take the 12-hour, by the way, or the daily, but I can't really see it. Okay, so for that exact reason, you keep it super simple. You zoom out and you just look at the next higher time frame demand zone. And that's not directly, that doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you have to take the entry right at that demand zone. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you tap into that demand zone right here, you can now wait for internal breakouts. You can wait for patterns to play out. All the patterns are in the book, right? All the patterns are here. Things that we're looking for the moment you tap into a demand zone. And usually these are the highest probability setups. Seems like 2,000 viewers is not gonna happen soon, unfortunately. You wait, my friend. You wait. You see. You wait. You wait. It's all about viewers, right? That's how it works, right? It's all about viewers. Will your book be in a different language? It might be. It might be later on. But for now, we keep it English. A lot of work. It's a lot of work. Lorenzo, conference has started. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to watch it with you guys until Jim Cramer starts speaking or something like that, because I don't want to listen to all that other fluff for now. I don't want to torture you too much. So yeah. Yes, for the thing is, of course, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you have, let's say, 2 different systems, then that's completely fine. You don't necessarily need one system. If you can trade 2 systems and it works for you, then you can do that. Okay, but as long as you understand which system is which, and you understand all the data behind it, then of course, yeah, why not? If it works for you, then you should do that. Okay. Other people are gonna say, you know, I focus on one strategy and that's it. One system and that's it. And some people are able to do and take multiple trades with multiple strategies. But you just need to be able to separate it in a way where you understand the data behind it. That's it. Bobby Fisher says, I moved over here from Callisto as well. Their signals fucked me over too many times. Okay, yeah, the thing is with this, I mean, to be really honest with you, I've taken 500 trades on YouTube as well. Right? So it's not that we don't do much. We're constantly trading. And we're also losing and we're winning and we're, you know, but at least you see it and you understand the system behind it. That's what matters. Will you be streaming all through December? I will be there, yes. Not during, not around Christmas, I guess. Not around Christmas. And at the beginning of November, that is in 1 month from now, I will be in Dubai. I have to go to Dubai. And then I will be there for like a couple days and then maybe like 5 days or something. And then I come back. Let me actually see what day that is, by the way. I want to know that. That's important. Good point you're making. Thursday till Sunday. Thursday till Sunday till Monday. Lucky. Yeah, then we only miss 1 stream that week. That's it. Yeah. Come to Dubai. Yes, I will be there, man. I will be there. Next month. Liam, nice. Amazing. Oil long. You held on to the trade, right? Yes, he did it. He did it. What was the last trade you took? Yeah, that was oil. That was literally oil. We took that yesterday. Yeah, took an oil trade yesterday. And I think gold before that. And yeah, Tuesday gold, Wednesday oil. Gold was doing nothing. Like gold was ranging. All right, we're getting closer and closer to our 500 likes today, guys. So that means that we will have a giveaway if we reach the 500 likes today. We do this on a consistent basis. We have been doing this already for years. Do these giveaways. It's fun for the community. Keep things exciting. The momentum is growing. And that also helps. So what you need to do for it, you need to subscribe to this channel, number 1. And you need to like this video, number 2. You obviously need to understand and have downloaded the LTA Trading War Map. And that combination should give you a golden ticket to the giveaway of today. And that is probably going to be another challenge. I am going to verify this with my team. What time is the news coming in? It's not on my chart. We're talking about this speech today. Today is the speech of the Community Bank Conference from the Federal Reserve. You saw what happened, right? You saw what happened already. Look at silver, for example. Look at silver. Look at gold. That is not random. That is not random. Why are you not taking 3 TPs per trade like other trader streamers? Well, I just don't trade like other trader streamers. And you know the reason is, you know what I realized a lot is that taking a TP1, let's say, doesn't necessarily mean you have a profitable system. It's winning, you know? That's just the reality. Some guys that I know that are legit, they have that. They do. Right? I'm not talking about anyone. But the majority of guys that I know that I've seen, you know, TP1 sounds great, and probably every trade that I take live, I can give you after 10 pips, I can say, guys, take profit right now. I could do that. And we would have a 90% win rate. And I will be winning on stream. Right? Winning. You know what I mean? Winning. And we have all these W's in the chat. Yes, W, 10 pips. 10 pips, baby. But is it truly gonna make me a consistently profitable trader? Am I really gonna get my payouts through that? Like I've been showing you guys yesterday? Bobby Fish says win rate doesn't mean anything. I agree. I agree. Obviously, we still want to win. Right? We still want to win. We still want to win more than we lose. That's the ideal. But yeah, we do get, or we work our way always to like a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Asmax is so vague, he can be wrong like watching a fortune teller. Yes, I'm a fortune teller. I predict every single outcome of the charts. You know that I created the algorithm, right? That one big algorithm that runs the market. I'm actually that guy. I'm joking. I'm joking. Of course not. Rodney says, I'll be happy with $100 day. Seriously, I ain't greedy. That's fair. That's good. That's fair. That's fair if it's profitable. If you can consistently get that, why not? Why not? Why not? All right, we got some news. Conclusion, 25K challenge. Again, 25K challenge of FundedNext. There is some really interesting news coming out soon, but I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it yet. In regards to FundedNext, I can't talk about it yet. But there is some interesting stuff coming. Yeah. We're gonna give away 25K account again. Third time. Costs like $200. Is it possible to book 1 out of 2 contracts in Topstep? Yes. If you buy a market order or you place a market order, you just have to sell market in order to get rid of that market order. So if you buy 2, you sell 1. Okay. You buy 2, you sell 1. Lorenzo, how legit is FundedNext instant account? I mean, it's legit. It works, but you have to deal with the trading drawdown, right? And that's something that a lot of people can't deal with. So if you're not used to that, then I would read the rules carefully so you truly understand what that means and how it can affect your trading. Because it is important. It is important. Oh my God. Ryu, you absolutely crushed it, my friend, yesterday. You absolutely crushed it. That was a beautiful setup. W Ryu. Ryu. Ryu gave us that ID here. He posted it in our main channel yesterday. And he said, hey man, there is something up with the New Zealand dollar. You have to check it out. And man, New Zealand dollar on my radar. Wow. That was really clean, my friend. That was really clean. Look at that rejection from that range, the breakdown, and again, pullback, rejection from where? Let me know in the chat, guys. If you guys know LTA right now, you have been watching the streams for a while already. Where did we got rejected from? Let me know. Which level? Which level?
Of the trade, and I missed all of the entries.
Yo, Ryu, my friend.
Hey, Lorenzo, how you doing?
Yeah, good, bro. You absolutely crushed it, man, yesterday with the New Zealand dollar. That was very nice.
Yeah, thank you. Played out perfectly here. Perfect CME from fixed value high.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what are you doing now? What are you looking at right now?
I'm keeping an eye on the dollar that it is basically breaking out of this range finally.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna show you another thing. Japanese yen. I shared this setup on the Telegram.
Yeah.
I said that we have this range. If we break below, retest, and it close below fixed POC. Yeah, and I'm giving this a go for now.
Okay, so dollar yen longs. Yen future shorts,
yes,
dollar yen longs.
Yen longs.
That's a nice yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice CRC right there. If the dollar is if the dollar maintains strong, then that's the play for sure.
Yes.
Awesome. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Ryu. Look at that breakdown. Beautiful, man. So nice, so clean. Stino back. Been part for 1.5 weeks now, but following you since your first live stream when you came back. Awesome, man. Welcome. Great to have you here. Yeah, great to have you here. I remember my first live stream. That was crazy. My first 10 live streams. That was crazy on YouTube. That was really crazy. X Trader, first time visit your channel, but I'm really happy. Amazing, my friend. Welcome. I'm happy too. I'm happy that you're happy. That's awesome. Good to have you here, man. Yeah, if you're new, my friend, download the ebook. Okay, get informed. Watch the live streams here. Watch me execute trades on a daily basis. Not every day. Sometimes there is just not a trade setup according to our system, right? We will not be here to force setups, right? You understand this? Hopefully you do. And if you do, then you can also join our Telegram after you have downloaded the ebook. You get the ebook first, you go through it, you understand it, you test it, you build some confidence around the strategy, and then you join the Telegram. It's very easy. You can sign up with Vantage. Follow the instructions and then join us. And if you already have a Vantage account, you can also simply click on the link right here. I believe it's right there. You have already a Vantage account. You click on this one and it will lead you through right away. That's one. We'll fix it. Easy. 5 minutes. What do you get there? Well, first thing is I update daily market update videos. Good morning. pretty much every day. Every day I upload a video. I make sure that I do, because it is so important to, during the London session already, get you ready right away, ready for the day. And then after that, it's always about, you know, the follow-up setups and everything that come with it. You can see it's not direct signals, unless I'm saying, you know, I'm entering a trade right now, it happens, but it's not like entry TP 1, 2, 3. You know, it's more about the setups with the explanation, right? So we really want you to learn and to become a better trader as well. That's, in my opinion, how most of the traders are operating here and winning here. But you can see how many of the guys are just constantly sharing their setups before they actually do play out, which is something that I really like. And whenever you have a winning trade, you know, I don't really care too much about the winning trade. I care about the reason behind it, context behind the trade. That's what matters. Yeah. So gold is pulling back, and it's pulling back into that 8-hour demand zone slowly and steadily. And yeah, this is gonna be super, super interesting, because that's I believe where first major support is gonna be after that fake out, that massive manipulation we saw yesterday and today. We saw it twice. One of the hardest things to trade though is trying to predict the shorts here, because the only thing that you can practically do here with at least from my perspective, is the pullback scenarios. So this was one trade. This could have been one, but this would have been a break-even setup. But this one is going to be tough. This one is going to be tough. So the pullback of that, yes, sure. But we're already getting very close to that higher time frame support. Higher time frame demand right there. I heard Daniel turned $500 into more than $40,000. Is that true? It was actually 12. If you want to have the real truth, it was actually $1,250, because he deposited $750 and he got a $500 deposit bonus, and then he turned that into $50,000, 50K, if I'm correct, 40 or 50K. He did share it. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I mean, if you the thing is with futures, right? With Topstep, for example, you need to close the trades by end of day, right? So you cannot hold trades overnight, for example. That's why CFD trades on your own live account win big time. Why? Because if you were in this setup, for example, that we talked about last week or yesterday, or even this one, right? This range pullback trade, all these setups that occurred here, that were tradable assets. You know, you enter a trade, price goes up. You don't close that position, price pulls back. It gives you the next range, the next CERC setup on page 46 of your ebook. Boom, another trade. You scale in. You hold that trade, you go again, right? And you just do that 4 or 5 times, and gold keeps rallying and you keep scaling in. Yeah, that's how you can turn $1,250 into 40K. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because scaling, man, scaling is a real thing. If you understand the macro and the higher time frame good enough, and you start scaling in, then yeah, very helpful, very helpful. Yeah, I'm happy we can listen to this, guys, but it's going to be very generic. But this has a major impact probably on the market right now at the moment here. The US government shutdown is there, yet the Federal Reserve is speaking. Gold has been rallying like crazy before this speech. I mean, in the last week already. So you now saw that major follow through. What I'm shocked about is this one right here. I'm shocked about this this exact instrument. Yes, okay, gold came up and it broke structure and it came down. But man, I am absolutely shocked by silver here, to be honest, because this was a 3% move up and a 4% move down since the New York Open. Manav says, should we sell gold now or at 4,000? That's the thing about it. These questions, like, instead of asking the question like, should we sell gold now? You should ask the question, where is the best, or what could be the best level to sell from? I think that's always the better question to ask. Because now, you know, if you have that word now in your system, and I talk from experience because I got fucked so many times, bro. So many times. Because sometimes I woke up on my phone and I was like, I want to just enter. I just start looking at the market. And for some reason, in 2 minutes, I was in a random position. I didn't even properly analyze. I was just in a trade. I was just in a trade. And then I was in drawdown. I was like, ah, shit. Okay, fuck. Closed my trade, boom. And I was upset. Now I started scaling in. So get that like mindset like of now out of your system. And turn that word now into where. Or when. Because that was a curse. I experienced this before. Let me know if you guys experienced this, by the way. If this is something that you recognize. But it was the feeling that you were just doom scrolling until you could find a setup where you could pretty much enter from within the next 5 minutes. Kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And if you couldn't find it, you entered anyways. You entered anyways. Yeah, that's a real killer. It's a real killer. It really crushed me. Really did. Really did. Yeah. That guy that won 40K, so basically he didn't use your concept. Well, actually he did. Yeah, we talk about this in our ebook very well. And this has to do with the execution framework, okay? The hybrid model, okay? Read the hybrid model, because this is exactly, this explains exactly how, if you are a swing trader, how you can still take trades on the lower time frame, but hold your trades longer and start trading and swinging. So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to execute on the higher time frame. You actually execute on the lower time frame. But you scale into the trade. So there is something which I call the hybrid model, best of both worlds. And what you can see here is this is, for example, a trade on the higher time frame. And this is from the real market. This is a real chart on the yen. And this was a swing trade, right? So this was a higher time frame, daily demand swing trade. And it had to do with the macro fundamentals, the CT data, the valuation tool, the indicators and all that stuff, right? That was the setup. Now, within that spectrum, you could have also taken 1, 2, 3, 4 different trades between that same demand zone and that same supply zone according to our system, right? So this is a CME play right there. And this is a range breakout right there. And this is a CRC play right there. You get what I mean? So that's kind of your thought process. You can take multiple trades, and sometimes if you understand the higher time frame so well and you have a real good understanding of it, you can actually go from daily demand to daily supply. You can actually just scale in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You trade to that same supply zone as you usually would trade here. And just scale in. So that's what this guy did. So he actually followed the system perfectly. Yo, bro, a lot of people got wrecked today. What about you? No, not today. Not today. Okay, I got wrecked last week, Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah, not today. But I definitely understand why so many people are, you know, are getting wrecked right now. Of course, that usually happens when the sentiment gets so bullish that everyone just thinks that gold is unstoppable, and then it reverses, it breaks. It's just really hard to time these shorts, right? It's very hard. I mean, you're a real G. If you can time it perfectly, you know, then that's really good. It's really good. I really prefer to see these confirmations there. How is it possible that he followed it perfectly? I'm now confused. Well, the main reason is because you can trade LTA like a swing, or you can have like LTA from like a swing trading perspective. You can start taking trades from the higher time frame, from the lower time frame, considering it to be a higher time frame range. So it's kind of your swing trading approach on the lower time frame. So it's completely normal. You just have to make sure that the cycle is completed, and you're actually in the trading market, which we haven't been in the last, I don't know how long. We haven't been in the trading market since, yeah, well, clearly on gold we have, but not on currencies, for example. How does he then go from 1,000 to 50? Well, you just have to calculate it, right? If gold goes up, for example, that much, and you take these LTA setups and you have a certain price point in mind, you take one trade LTA wise, you hold on to the trade overnight, and you then close your first trade, put your first trade on break even the moment you go into your second trade. With your second trade on break even the moment you go into your third trade. Is there a chance you're going to get stopped out on all your trades and potentially not make any money from it? Yes, of course there is. So that's the risk you're willing to take. But the risk management that comes with it is still the most important part. Reversal pattern forming on the 1 minute time frame. Would you long from here? That's an honest question. Would you guys long from this level right now, at this moment? And then if that's the case, where would you then take profits? I'm just curious. Lorenzo, there's some crazy news about my Forex funds. Read it, please. Do you guys remember my Forex funds? Have you guys heard of this company before? If you are a new trader, you don't know who MyFF is. Do you guys know MyFF? That was crazy, right? Do you guys remember that? That was the first prop firm that went not bankrupt. I think they got confiscated by the Canadian government. I guess it was the Canadian government. I know many funded traders in my community that got wrecked because of that. My Forex funds, they were bigger than FTMO or the same as FTMO. Something like that here. Look at this shit. If it loads. I can't open it right now. Damn, that's crazy. I saw something interesting. Let me check it out. Let me try it one more time. Wow, that's crazy. Because I believe they're back in business. I believe they're back in business. Is that true though? Is that for real? We're gonna look this up right now. Yes. I think it's confirmed, guys. Not just from this article, but I actually believe it's confirmed. Okay? My Forex funds hints at comeback after winning legal battle against the CFTC. I hope people are going to get their money back, man. If that's the case, then you want people, you want that people are getting their money back. A lot of people bought their challenge. Millions and millions of dollars of challenges were paid beforehand, before they shut down. So if that's the case, then that's a big deal. You know what's crazy? A lot of people expect that, the prop firms in general are having a very hard time, right? And that all these prop firms are going to get shut down and that everyone hates prop firms. The SAC, the CFTC hates prop firms, blah, 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 right? But right now, what's happening is my Forex funds is opening up again. FTMO right now is tradable in the United States. Is now officially available in the United States. So business is booming, man. Business is booming. Prop firm industry is booming. I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why. Prop firm business is absolutely booming, okay? And the main thing that I can think about right now is that, for example, if you really think about it, imagine this, right? Imagine that you own a prop firm. And imagine that you have, let's say, 5,000 people trading under you. 5,000 people. I think some prop firms have 10 times that, or 100 times, 10 times that at least. But let's say you have 5,000 people under you trading, okay? Imagine that you will be able to create some sort of dashboard where you could see everyone's trades. You could see how many of your traders, your 5,000 traders, are long on gold. are short on gold, are long on silver, are short on silver. You know how valuable that information is. Because if you understand that 99% of all the retail traders lose money, or 90% of all the retail traders lose money, or 91% fail their first challenge, for example, then don't you think that that value, that the information that you have, these 5,000 traders all long on gold, don't you think that that's a crazy valuable signal, insane information? And then another question is, if you have that information, what would you do with that information? What would you do with that information? That is my question. Well, guess what most of them probably are doing? This is an assumption, right? I'm just speaking probabilities here. Probably sell it to the biggest bidder. Who are those big bidders? Well, hedge funds, banks, the big boys, right? The SEC, the CFTCs, right? The big players in the market. Because this is the most valuable information that you can get. You do the opposite of what 91% of these traders are doing. And you know, oh, when 91% is long on gold, that's the ultimate sell signal. So, I mean, maybe that's the reason why these prop firms are still alive. I mean, it's crazy information. I'm just saying. Speculation, though. Crazy. All right, gold is indeed finding a bit of support here, but I'm still looking at that 8-hour demand zone. I'm still looking at this range, below that or within that zone. And I still think that there is more downside potential here. Like, I mean, the dollar right now, oh wow, New Zealand dollar absolutely tanking. Absolutely tanking. That was crazy. Look at that. Crazy. But yeah, 8-hour demand. I have a question regarding FundedNext. I was thinking about opening an account. So which one do you think I should open? Plus, do you have a discount code? We do have a discount code. You can actually open a FundedNext challenge. They're actually one of the most reliable prop firms I know at the moment. They've been there for a long time right now. I think they're the second biggest at this current moment. Yeah, we have a discount code, Limitless. Discount code is, sorry, LTA. LTA for CFDs and Limitless for futures. Give a trade suggestion for gold right now, because you asked me it so nicely. I'm waiting for price to pull back into that demand. That's the only possible way I could look for some sort of a confirmation to say, okay, what happens internally? What happens from this range? Do we see a reaction from it? Is the dollar slowing down? Then that might be a nice reaction to create, let's say, a new lower low to go and potentially go for a lower high. Right, for now, longing at this moment without a proper confirmation from any of my personal levels, the things that I'm looking for. We have taken out the previous lows here, so that's why we're reacting bullish. But I still think it's too risky to enter long. And without that confirmation here for me, it'd simply be too risky for myself. If we would break out, yeah, different story, right? We will break out, we'll create a high, and it's easy. It's easy to go long when you're above previous structure, right? It's easy when you trade higher lows. Higher lows, easy. But we have created a lower low right now. So buying at a lower low means waiting for the right confirmation and setup here. But these are beta trades. They are A-book trades, virtual, worth nothing. We don't know that. Maybe the data is so extremely accurate, right? But because people are paying for these challenges, and people want to pass their challenge, right? People people do want to pause their challenge. People have an emotional connection to their challenge. A lot of people are able to get towards the profit target or 90% of the profit target and then lose their account because they get too greedy, too emotional, too fearful. So people do feel real emotions when they trade challenges, and I think it just definitely is valid. And if it's not valid, then, you know, they have probably a way to filter out the best from the worst traders within that. Kieran says, strong pull got me in heavy drawdown. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why we were a bit cautious today, because we know that there is a speech happening, and we just know the impact it can have on the market here. What I'm really shocked about is silver. Yeah. And yesterday should have gave us already kind of the insights, right? Yesterday we kind of already saw the fact that we're kind of getting to that point of like something is happening, something is coming. You could see that yesterday when we started to struggle here, and especially the way we closed the daily candle. Trueland says, NZD crashed, nice, fundamentals work great. Yeah, amazing, man. Amazing, amazing. This is also, and this is something that you guys can look at as well, a 12-hour supply zone, right? So it's the same concept. It's the higher time frame supply here. This is a 12-hour supply zone. But internally, the 12-hour supply zone is actually this setup from this range. The consolidation, the expansion, the retracement, the continuation. It's one of the cleanest setups you can get. And yeah, Ryu shared this with us in our group way ahead of time. So that was very nice. All right, guys, I think we're close to reaching the 500 likes on our page here. It's Thursday. This is usually the last stream of the week. Tomorrow we're going to be trading live in the trading floor in our Discord with the VIP members. So we're going to be back on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty much every single week for the next coming months. So we're going to be here. We're going to be here. We're close to the 500 likes, so that means we're gonna get our we're gonna get you guys hooked up to the giveaway today. All right, gold is on an absolute terror, so we haven't seen, in my opinion, the confirmation that I wanted to see. So giveaway could be a good alternative indeed. Let's get ready for that. Let's get ready for that. Ayush says, I want to say that you are completely dependent on trading. Don't know what that means, sorry. Any suggestions for which plan to choose on FundedNext? The 2-step, the 1-step, or the light? Yes. I would look at the Stellar Challenge. Let me see if I can load it up here, because we're going to give it away anyways today. The thing is, if you take the one step, for example, then you have to deal with, let's see, is it like what? 3%, right? Yeah. 3% daily loss limit. That's not really an issue. 6% maximum loss minute. It's getting a bit tighter, right? So you need to reduce your risk. So you don't have that in the regular two-step challenge. It's 5% and then 10%. So if you have like a long-term vision, just a long-term vision, the two-step is good, you know, because you give yourself more breathing room. You're gonna get into losing streaks, etc. You know, so it's better. It's just better. If you say, you know what, no, I just want to get that return on my investment. So I buy my challenge, I get funded, and I get my payout. And if I blow my account after my payout, it doesn't matter because I can just start over again and do the same thing. Then a one step is better for you. So it kind of can make the decision in between that. Yes, I hope that helped. Lorenzo, can you show us the progress for the month on the live streams, please? I just show my own results, my own trading results. I think that's better. I don't want to be too dependent on the results of the trade, every single individual trade, because that doesn't refer to how good our strategy actually is, right? And what we actually do on the stream. I prefer to show my real results, my profits, my payouts in the making, you know, where I'm currently standing. That's what we do consistently. Jim is speaking. Oh my God, really? I just wanted to do the giveaway. Is he actually? Yes. The man himself. The man himself. I want to quickly listen to this guy. Sorry, I have to listen to Jim Cramer. If you don't know who this guy is, you truly understand what I mean here. Jim Cramer is he had a television show. He's retired now. Okay, he did this for 40 years or something, and he is pretty much the guy. He is actually the first legitimate, or legitimate official, I could better say, signal provider in the world for the retail traders. He's the first signal guy. That's this guy. He's the creator of signals. That's Jim Cramer, right? So he's a GOAT in many different ways. People call him the inverse Cramer because everything that he says goes wrong, or 80% of it, statistically speaking, has been proven to be wrong. So people usually take his advice and do the opposite. So that's this guy right here. And I just quickly want to listen to it and see if it has any impact or any volatility or whatever the case may be here. We keep it short. We keep it short, I promise.
Teach, but what we need taught.
Well, let's talk about bankers and finding the right banker, because all of you have been passionate about finding the right people, because if you can find the best bankers in your area, then you'll be able to grow better than everyone else. Is it an opportunity when a Fifth Third merges with Comerica to get bankers? Or is that just something where they become stronger in your communities?
It's absolutely a huge opportunity for many people. I mean,
especially community banks.
Every time there's a merger, you know, many times we hire people, the teams we hire are people that have built and sold a community bank to a larger regional bank. And, you know, for one reason or another, some of them don't like being in that system. And so they find our culture more to their liking and more entrepreneurial. So I think, you know, all of us profit from hiring people from, you know, larger banks. And the larger banks become, the more the community banks, like, I mean, we all consider ourselves community banks, right? Not regional.
No, we're
not
not.
regional, but we're a series of
Community
we're
banks.
11 service versus 11.
Okay, never mind. I thought that this was just specifically him speaking, so it's probably not going to be as crazy. Anyways, yeah, gold came down, flushed out pretty much everyone who was long. I'm really happy we didn't, you know, got involved here, because it would have been an absolute mess for that exact reason. I think that's the biggest deal here. Okay. How do you determine your daily bias? We usually start off with a macro approach, always, right? So higher time frame comes first, clearly bullish, right here, clearly bullish. But then the moment we go to the hourly, this is where we don't really look anymore at higher time frame. We already have a higher time frame bias. Everything is clear. That doesn't necessarily mean for us, because the higher time frame is bullish, we should be bullish on the lower time frame. Like, I learned along the way that doesn't necessarily always have to be the case. Right? The higher time frame is bullish, so the lower time frame has to be bullish. I have to be only look for longs because the higher time frame is bullish. This is where the weekly cycle comes into play. Okay, and the weekly cycle actually starts at the Sunday at 6 p.m. Okay, so this is where you can go back into the ebook and you can read this. Just read it. All right, it's in page number 31. Why mastering the weekly cycle is essential, and then you can implement this. And if you can, you understand when and what and why the weekly cycle is so important. So this was also a big reason why we avoided taking longs yesterday. Okay, this is all explained also in the actual in the ebook as well here. Okay, what tends to happen? Reversal plays, you know, all that stuff. And why the weekly cycle is what it is. So yeah, read it, and it can help you a lot with your daily buys. I really think it will help. That since I was the winner of the giveaway and you guys have ignored me. If that's the case, that's weird, because you should have opened a ticket in the Discord, and it should be there should be responded to be honest. If not, please open again another ticket, because obviously if you want, then that will happen. You will get it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Then it's time for another one, though. Let me know if you guys are ready for it, because we reached our goal today. 500 likes on the stream. Awesome stuff. How do we join? How do we join the giveaway? Well, you can join the giveaway by doing 3 things. Number 1, you download the LTA Trading War Map. Obviously, if you're interested in it, right? I don't want to force you to learn a strategy or a system. That's all up to you to decide. You can download the War Map. Number 1, links in the description. Secondary, you like this video and you subscribe to this channel. Around 30% of you guys are not subscribed, of all the viewers. We want to get this down to 15%. So the momentum is growing. LTA is growing really fast. And we're going to keep up this space here. So that's why we do what we do. And the giveaways is also a great way of giving back to the community here. So what can you win today? You can win a FundedNext challenge. Let me see if I can find it here. A FundedNext challenge. We literally just talked about it here. A 25K FundedNext challenge. Yes, it's that time. Looking forward to it. Let me set it up. Okay. There we go. What do you need to do? Type in LTA from now on, okay? The moment I press this button right here, done. Okay? Very important. The moment I press this button right here, only type in LTA once. Only once. Otherwise, you get kicked out for some reason. You get disqualified, right? You want to only keep it once. So I'm going to press it now. Okay, there we go. One time. By the way, we're going down to 39.85. We'll see. We'll see. It's actually bouncing already. Gold has been a mess since yesterday. Yes, that's for sure. All right. Many of you guys are tuning in for the giveaway right now. We are sitting at around 222 entries. I'm waiting for like 30 more seconds. All right, let's do this. Let's make it happen. Okay, I think we're ready, G's. I think we're ready. Yeah, man, let's end the week strong. This is the last stream of the week. We're going to be back on a Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to be in our Discord, in our private group. We're going to be streaming there. So we wanted to end the stream with a banger. Even though gold is a complete mess, we still want to give back to the community here. What are you going to win? Last time, 25K account. FundedNext challenge of your choice. Like this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Follow the daily live streams. Most importantly, download the ebook. And let's get to work. Yeah? Okay, baby. All right. If you say so. If you say so. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here on a day-to-day basis. You guys are absolute legends. It's great to be back on stream. I really missed this shit. I really did. It's been a long time. It's been way too long. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. And the winner is... Mr. Draken24. Draken24. Never seen you before. Welcome to the streams. You might get lucky. You might clicked on me for the first time. You were here on stream watching. Who is this guy? What is this guy all about? And you just won. You just won a 25K challenge. That can happen. That can actually happen. Congratulations. Okay? Great to have you here, my friend. What you can do is you can join our Discord. You can join our Discord and open a customer support ticket. And we're going to get it done right there. We're going to get it solved right there. All right? When is the next giveaway? We'll let you know. We'll let you know. It's going to come back here. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah, so in regards to gold, the only thing I wanted to see was a price pulling back here. This was a really nasty breakdown. Really hard to predict that reversal for me. We broke above any other critical level of interest. This was great. Asian session. Maybe the London session was okay. New York sessions, you know, pretty much created that reversal. We just hadn't had our confirmation for a setup. 8-hour demand is not far away. If price does break out specifically above the previous daily range, yeah, long continuation, of course, right? Gold just recovered from the flush out from the news, specifically this news right here, the Community Bank Conference. But I'm happy. I'm happy I didn't trade it. I'm happy I followed and stick to my rules. Brings us once again closer and closer to our next payout, of course. That's it. Okay. Good to see you guys. I'm gonna leave you guys for today here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned something. Every day we go at least over something. My takeaway something. Study the book. Study the book. Study the book. Get into our Telegram. I have no idea why you're not even in our Telegram, especially if you want to just continuing following our setups. Ryu, we absolutely crushed it with the New Zealand dollar. That's how you do it. Setups, daily market updates, and of course, a brand new community. Very easy to join. You can click on the link in the description here. All right, G's. Looking forward to be back. Lucifer, thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Yassine, good to see you. Red, Freeness, good to see you. Yassine, thank you for being here. Mr. Ali, my guy, thank you for being here. David, Bobby Fisher, 3 days a week. I see you guys soon. Thank you for today. We had fun. Peace out. Peace out. Ciao.
Got double D's plus like 1 or 2 degrees. Take me shopping overseas. Who can do it just like me? Coke bottle the physique. Fashion model but a G. Got a nigga spending green. He ain't sipping on no lean. Like who Who gon' tell me no? Keep me icy, make it snow. If he ain't tricking, gotta go. If that's your man and he my hoe, you know I get what I want. Play the back, I'm in the front. I ain't mean, baby, I'm blunt. But it's sweet just like a blunt. Bitches think they sippin' tea. About who I'm with, but they ain't bleed. Yeah, I make them all say we. He like, babe, let's make it we. I need a ring, I need a key. I need a diamond, make it bling. Told him, get down on one knee. He know he gotta pay that fee. Bitch, face card never did. Slash West pretty petite. Who is she like, babe, it's me. French kiss make him say we. Got them all like we. Bad bitch, face card never did. Slash West pretty petite. Who is she like, babe, it's me. French kiss make him say we. Got them all like we.
comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's pause it for the comma and a comma and a comma, got it. Comma and a comma and a comma, got it. Get it, get it, comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's pause it for the comma and a comma and a comma, got it. Comma and a comma and a comma, got it. Get it, get it, comma and a gotta get it, get it. And it's pause it for the